Hello everyone, Happy New Year. It's time for day 5 of my countdown to Saleabration 2022. I certainly hope you had a fantastic New Year's Eve and that 2022 is off to a great start. I can only hope that it's a better year for the world than 2021 was. Here's hoping, right? All right, so today with my countdown, we are focusing back on stamp sets for a couple of days. We are going to focus on the driving by stamp set from the Saleabration brochure. Now this one is really fun, features some fun automotive images, which is lends itself really well to masculine cards. So I've got some projects to show you. We're going to make one today, and then I'm going to show you a few more. All right, let me just pull up my video here on my iPad and we'll see who is joining us. All right, we've got Julie and Shaz, and hello from the UK, Shaz. Thanks for joining me today. We've got Regis and Angie. Thanks so much, everyone, for joining. Hi, Louise. How are you? Happy New Year. Hi, Gail. How are you? So glad you've all joined me. Oh, I forgot to turn off notifications on my camera, so I'm going to do that right now. There we go. So that we're not interrupted by my phone. Okay. All right. Oh, Sue's here. Hello, Sue. Happy New Year. All right. So we are going to get right to some stamping. I'm going to flip the camera and we're going to get going. Now, before I do, can you see behind me? It looks a little different today than it has, well, for the last forever since I've been doing lives. We are in the process of doing a whole remodel on my studio. I'm so excited about it. The problem is that everything that we're using comes from IKEA and they have big time supply issues like everybody else on the planet right now. So most of the stuff that I want to use to do my remodel is not available right now, like at any IKEA. We looked at Burlington, we looked at Etobicoke, we looked at North York, we looked at Vaughan, nothing. So in fact, John actually drove all the way to Etobicoke yesterday because the app said that they had certain things that we needed. And then when he got there, they didn't have them. So, but this awesome high table is going to be fantastic. I'm actually going to end up probably doing my videos from that table eventually. But lots of fun stuff planned in the studio. So you'll see lots of changes and things happening as, we get all the bits and pieces that we need. But I'm so excited. It's going to be so much more functional in here and I'm going to have tons more storage. So who doesn't need more storage, right? More storage means more stamps. Yay. All right, let's flip the camera and we're going to get to it. Okay, give me one sec here. There we go. That looks pretty good. All right, that's even fairly straight. Not bad. All right. Oh, Debbie. Oh, thanks for watching all the replays. I'm impressed that you did that. I don't know that I would go back and watch all my replays, but thanks for doing that, Debbie. Thanks, Gail. I am so excited about this little, well, it's not little, it's going to be a total, like a remodel of my whole studio. So, yeah, I'm really excited. I just need IKEA to get their stock in. And then life will be good. All right, let's talk for a minute about the driving by stamp set. Now, these images are actually quite large. It's really deceptive in the brochure when you look at some of these stamp sets. The images look quite small, but really, look at how big they are. They all fit, these two cars fit on D blocks, and our little VW bus fits on a D block as well. So they're quite large. And they easily can be the focal image on your card. So I've had lots of fun playing with this. Just as a reminder, Saleabration starts this Tuesday, January 4th, 2022, along with the new January-June mini catalog. Now, Tuesday, I will be holding my live launch party in prime time, starting at 7 p.m. So I would invite you to be sure to set a reminder to join me for my live launch, and I will take you through some fabulous new product from the mini catalog. All right, but today we're all about Saleabration, so let's get to it. The card we're going to make today is this one. I posted this earlier, about half an hour ago maybe, and I just love it. I had so much fun designing this. I don't know. I was not born in the 60s. I'm not quite that old. I barely missed the 60s. Let's just put it that way. But I totally love that flower power vibe. And that's kind of what I was channeling here as I was playing around with this stamp set. How could you not with the VW bus, right? So we are going to make this card. I'm going to show you how I put it together. So to start, we have our Granny Apple Green background. So this is 5 1/4 by 4. And on it, we are going to stamp some flowers because why not, right? Flower power. We are actually using the flowers from a new stamp set that's coming out in the mini called Hello Ladybug. So I'm using these flowers right here. And I thought they kind of had that graphic sort of bold 60s vibe. So we're going to just stamp our flowers in the Granny Apple Green, and I'm not really worrying about stamping the middle. I'm also not worrying about getting super even inking because most of this is going to be covered. So we're just going to kind of work our way around the outer edge. My Granny Apple Green is getting quite dry. Depends where on the stamp pad I hit the image, and we're getting different variations in strength, but that's okay. Totally works. Okay. So that is our background. Super, super simple. Oh, we've got some more people joining. Hi, Patricia and Lois and Carrie. Happy New Year, everyone. All right, so that's our background. And then I pulled out some Pattern Party DSP. Now this is from the annual catalog. It's the host exclusive DSP pack. It's a mega huge pack of 12 by 12 DSP, and it has so many fun patterns. One side of every sheet is black and white, and the reverse side has fun, bold, colorful patterns. So for this, I thought both the rainbow and this sort of floral pattern would work really, really well for what the look I was going for. So both of these pieces are cut to 3 by 4, and we're just going to offset them sort of cockeyed on the front of our panel, just like that. So let's just grab a bit of glue and we'll pop this on. So as I'm gluing these on, you guys need to tell me how many of you made it to midnight last night. Are you a stay up and party or it doesn't really matter, I'm going to bed kind of person? I would like to know. I actually started binge watching Sweet Magnolias on Netflix, and so that enabled me to stay awake. I wasn't too sure I would make it earlier in the day, but once I got into that, I was okay. All right, so there is our background. Now I wanted to bring in a little bit of a denim vibe, again, thinking 60s and flower power. So we have this awesome new denim 3/8 ribbon that's coming out in the mini catalog. And I'm just going to put a strip of it across sort of the lower portion of my card front here. And it's going to kind of be the road that my VW bus is going to drive on. So, oh, Sue made it till midnight. Good for you, Sue. Anybody else make it to midnight? Inquiring minds want to know what kind of, whether I've got partiers here or those of us that can't stay up past 10 o'clock. That's me normally. If I was at school, if I had to get up for work, actually it doesn't really matter whether I have to get up for work or not. I wake up at 5:30 every day, regardless of whether I'm on vacation or whether it's a school day. That's just how I roll. My body does not compute sleeping in anymore. All right, so we've got our ribbon glued on. We can go ahead and glue this onto our card base. So, oh, Julie, you made it to midnight, but no party. Well, that's probably a good thing, given everything that's going on in the world. Nancy made it to midnight. Wow, you guys are party animals. Oh, Debbie was in bed by 9. Good decision. Louise stayed up. Good for you. Oh, Bermuda gold. Your hubby slept in the chair. Awesome. Awesome. I love it. All right. So this card base is 5.5 by 8.5, scored in the middle at 4 1/4. So we're going to fold that in half along our score line and crisp it up with our bone folder. Oh, Nancy made it to midnight. Good for you, Nancy. All right. And then that is going to get glued centered on the front of our card. So let's just add a little bit of seal. I was going through all my adhesives today as I'm reorganizing and discovered I only have one seal refill left. Like this is like DEFCON 5 crisis mode here. So we are gonna have to do an order very soon, probably tomorrow, for some more seal refills, because I will go into withdrawal if I don't have my seal. All right, now I'm gonna explain what I did with my little bus here. So I stamped it first in Memento Black on some basic white cardstock, and then I colored the parts that I'm not gonna cover with my paper piecing with my Stampin' Blends, okay? So I used light shades for everything. So it was light granny apple green, light pumpkin pie, light pool party for the windows, light smoky slate for the bumper and the tailpipe, and then light black for the tires. Okay, now I didn't stamp the or color the body because we are going to paper piece that with this awesome floral DSP. So we're gonna stamp our bus again here in black on just a little scrap of the DSP. And then we're gonna cut it out. Now, I'm gonna give you a couple of tips for when you're paper piecing. One of the biggest mistakes people make is they don't cut on the inside of the image rather than the outside when they're paper piecing. So what I mean by that is every line has an inside and an outside. Okay, so we actually want to cut right along the inside edge of the line. Okay, that is going to allow our image below it to show and have this look a little bit more realistic. Okay, so see how you can still see the black line on there. Okay, that's the part that I cut off. So I'm gonna do the same thing here. I'm cutting on the inside of the line. Cut around the bumper. This is hard to do when I can't really look straight down at it. And then we're gonna go around the tire, and I need to make sure I'm doing the right part here. So we're going to do around the tire here. This part's tricky because it's curved, so you just want to take your time and make sure you get a nice smooth curve as you're cutting. And again, these scissors are Stampin' Up! Paper snips are the best for any kind of fussy cutting. Quiet New Year's, Janice. Wow, you stayed up till 1:30. I am impressed. I couldn't tell you the last time I saw 1:30 a.m. I am usually in bed, as I said, by 10 o'clock. I did make it to midnight last night, but that's only because I got hooked on this series on Netflix. So that's the key I've discovered. If you need to stay up, you just find a series to binge watch and you just keep letting it play. My guys kept coming down. They're like, oh, you're still awake. They were shocked. They thought for sure I'd be in bed. But they kept coming down and they're like, how are you still awake? I said, no, I'm enjoying this show. And so they were quite impressed that I made it. The old girl still got it in her. All right, there we go. So there is the body of our bus. And you're going to see when I layer this over top, it's going to fit onto my image quite nicely. Okay, so we'll get rid of all our little bits here. And we're going to add a little bit of liquid glue. Shaz made it to 3. Wow, Shaz, you're a party girl. Good for you. Yeah, 3 a.m. 3 a.m. is when I wake up often. My body is, well, it is considering whether or not sleep is actually necessary. And lately it's deciding that it's not. So I tend to wake up at 3 and I'm usually awake until for the day when I wake up at 3. All right, so there is my Flower Power Groovy VW bus. Okay, so it is going to get popped up on the front of my card. So we'll just add a couple of dimensionals on the back here. Now I'm not going to put any on the wheels because they're actually going to overlap my ribbon. And I don't want the ribbon to kind of flop. I want to make sure, and actually, speaking of ribbon, we're going to add just a little seal underneath the ribbon so it lays nice and flat. There we go. All right, so let's pop our bus onto the front of our card. So it's going to be driving down our Denim road here. Okay, and then I have a stitched rectangle just cut from basic white cardstock. And I have this absolutely fantastic stamp. Now this stamp is from the new Bragworthy stamp set. So this again is in the mini. It'll be available on Tuesday, and it has some really cheeky sentiments. So I love this one. I thought it was so perfect for, you know, a flower power, you know, child of the 60s kind of card. It says 1 minute you're young and cool, and the next you're getting excited over new towels. Which is so true. So we are going to stamp just the 1 minute you're young and cool portion on our stitched rectangle. Now I've cut two just in case I screw this up. I'm going to ink my stamp using a black Stampin' Right marker. So I'm only going to ink the top portion of my stamp here. And anytime you're inking a stamp with a Stampin' Right marker, you want to make sure you're using the brush tip and use the side of the brush tip. Okay, you don't want to use the very tip because you'll damage your tip, and then it'll kind of get kind of frayed and fuzzy, and then it won't be so nice. Okay, so that's just a little tip for inking with Stampin' Right markers. And now we're going to cross our fingers and our toes, and maybe, I don't know, anything else you can think of to cross. And we're going to hope that this stamp's straight and somewhat centered. Because I can't look straight down. Yeah, not so good. This is why I did two. Let me just do a practice run here on my grid paper and see how that looks. Okay, that's pretty good. All right, so we're going to try this again. We are going to ink this again with our marker. It is very hard to stamp straight when you can't look straight down. I'm going to move this a little closer to me. You guys may not be able to see it so well, but in the interest of actually getting this straight, we got to do what we got to do. Come on. Oh, that's much better. All right, 1 minute you're young and cool. All right, so that is going to go on the front of our card with a couple of dimensionals. Isn't that a fun camper? I love it. I love it. I love it. So cute. All right, we're going to pop this guy on here. Right about there. And then I wanted to really play up the flower thing. So I pulled out some of my loose flower flourishes. These again are embellishments that are in the annual catalog. We have polished pink, pale papaya, and fresh freesia. Okay, now these colors are not necessarily in this DSP, but I still think it totally works. So with these guys, the best way to adhere these is with our liquid glue. So I'm just going to grab a couple and kind of place them where I want them. I'm actually going to put this one here because I didn't quite center that all that well. So that will compensate for that. We'll put a large pink one here and maybe a small papaya one. Come on. There we go. And let's get another small pink one here. We'll put this guy maybe here. And maybe we'll do another large papaya one. No, I think we'll do a small papaya. Yeah, that's better. There we go. Okay, so these little embellishments are really fun. They're quite dimensional, okay? They have quite a bit of thickness to them. So if you look at, see how they have a fair bit of depth. So just keep that in mind if you're creating a card that you think you're gonna wanna mail. They may not be something that you wanna use on something you're gonna put through the mail. Okay, so now it's just a matter of picking up each little flower, putting a little dab of liquid glue, and then I like to just use the pointy end of my take your pick to kind of release it from the blue goo end and get it to stick. So we're going to put one there, and this little guy right there. Now these will take some time to set up. So I'm not going to actually stamp the inside of the card in this video. I'll show you what I did on the inside of my sample, but I'm not going to take the time to stamp it because these flowers need time to dry before I open up the card. Wow, my voice is really croaky today. I apologize for my voice quality. For those who are new, I am having vocal issues. I'm a high school music teacher, and I've been having issues with my voice for the last 8 or 9 months. So I've just been referred for voice therapy, so in the hope of getting the problem fixed. But in the meantime, my voice is quite unreliable. So I do apologize if it's kind of grating and irritating. I'm sorry about that. So let's just move that up. That's our finished card front. Okay, now on the inside of this one, I added another little strip of the floral DSP and then the rest of the sentiment. So we have 1 minute you're young and cool on the front, and then on the inside we have the punchline, and the next you're getting excited over new towels. So I thought that was a really, really fun card for someone of a certain vintage that will appreciate the sort of flower power vibe that I had going on here. All right, so that's that one. Now, before you go, let me show you a couple more ideas with this stamp set. So here's another one. Whenever I see VW bus, I think beach. So I was playing with the Sunshine and Rainbows DSP yesterday, if you joined me. And so this is the same pack. So this is actually both sides of the same pack. So the one side has these kind of pool party loops that look like waves, and then we have this fun sort of stripe, which I think just, it reminds me of the beach. I don't know. So I paired it with some die cuts from the new Paradise Palms bundle. Awesome bundle. And the sentiment is also from the stamp set that coordinates with the Paradise Palms. Okay, and then on the inside, it just is a happy birthday. So wishing you a warm and beachy kind of day. Wouldn't we all like to be on the beach right about now? All right, here's another idea. Masculine birthday card. I was thinking this would be perfect for a 16-year-old boy who's, you know, turning 16 and able to get his license, or for a car enthusiast of any kind. So I thought that was a kind of a fun card. Okay, and again, I used this sentiment on the inside thinking it would be, I was thinking it would be for my husband actually. But totally would work for a young teenage boy. And then one more with our punch bug yellow. I don't know if you remember doing that as a kid. That was how we entertained ourselves back then, when we didn't have, you know, DVD players and in-car Wi-Fi and all those things. But we used to look for punch bugs, and it was lots of fun. So that's kind of what this was reminding me of. So this is new vellum that is coming in the mini catalog. Lots of different patterns. One of them is a map. And then on the background, I use some of the Simply Marvelous DSP, which is another Saleabration freebie. So there's some more ideas with this fun stamp set. It's definitely one to check out. Certainly fun to play with. I had so much fun, you know, just kind of trying different ideas and coloring the images. Lots of images to color in the stamp sets in Saleabration this year. Okay, everybody, thanks so much for joining me today. Thanks for spending your New Year's Day evening with me, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening and enjoy your day tomorrow. And be sure to come back tomorrow, 5 o'clock, same time, same place, for day 6 of my countdown to Saleabration 2022. Bye for now.